Okay, so it says DDG goes off on his former cameraman for quitting because he felt like they weren't getting paid enough.
Niggas will indirectly try to diss working for me. But niggas was so excited. Like, that shit be blowing me, bro. Like, you don't know how much cameraman's paid. Dubba, dubba. Tell him how much you was paid at this point, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, no, let me put this in y'all brain. No cameraman will ever make as much money as the nigga they're filming. When a McDonald's nigga, a nigga that's working at McDonald's, Checkers, In-N-Out, when they're making them burgers, you think they think in their head, damn, bro, I don't want to make these burgers no more because the nigga that owned In-N-Out, the nigga that worked hard as fuck to get to this point in his life to make this much money is making more than me. It's not fair. Oh, I made 20 burgers today. I need more money. No. It's not what it is. So I don't like how these fucking, this cameraman shit, y'all trying to diss niggas, but it's like, y'all don't understand, bro. Like, niggas that work for me, bro, as a cameraman, you live a beautiful life. You travel the world, you meet the coolest people in the world. Like, every nigga that ever worked for me will tell you that. You can't say that you don't. Niggas travel to see shit that you ain't even, you know what I mean? Just because you ain't getting paid a fucking $100,000 or whatever the fuck niggas expecting, that don't mean a nigga ain't spending damn near that much. Flying niggas across the world, putting niggas in nice ass hotels, Airbnbs, feeding niggas. Boy, I'm a great boss, nigga. I feed my cameraman, y'all. All this shit online where we be joking and shit like cameraman don't eat. No, niggas. If nigga we go to Steak 48, you think I'ma tell my cameraman to go to In-N-Out? No, nigga, get a Wagyu. Fuck it. I'm rich as hell, nigga. But I'm not finna go above and beyond paying a motherfucker just because I'm making more money. It makes no sense. This is a business. That's not how businesses work. Just because you're an individual doesn't mean that I don't operate like a business. You feel me?
Okay, so in a couple of other videos, I've heard that these cameramen roughly get paid somewhere between that lanes of $3 to $5 grand a month, you know, working for these top streamers. I'm just gonna outright say that's not enough money for the job these guys do. And reason being is because I've graduated from university. I studied media technology and business, and I remember holding cameras. I don't care how young you are, holding a camera upright and filming somebody, yeah, it's physically taxing on the body, especially when you're doing it for hours. Now, in uni, we had these things where they were like cranes for the body, where they strapped to your body, and then it had like something that was pretty much connected to the camera that you're holding it. So if you let go of the camera just bobs in front, okay? So really, all you had to do was just guide the camera. You didn't have to hold the camera upright, so there was less strain on your hands. I've seen like a few clips where the cameraman is caught in the actual scene because they've made the camera zoom onto a PC, and then you see the cameraman who's been running around for the last 8 hours after these guys. You then see the camera in his hands, and a lot of them don't have this crane thing on. So if you're doing this for 8 hours straight, and lo and behold, when it comes to now the new kick situation, a lot of them are doing 24 hours now. It used to be 8-9 hours, but now it's like around the clock, and they're having night shifts and whatnot. But nevertheless, a cameraman's holding that for pretty much 12-13 hours now, and all you're coming out with it is the same that you would get from like what, a highly paid 9-to-5 job. Like, you may as well just go and work in a building somewhere, sat in a chair, if you're going to be paid pretty much the same fees that you're getting in a normal job. That sort of job, I get it. You got a famous streamer that's chosen you out of so many people. But I think the issue is because DDG's famous, and because he knows there's so many people that just want to be involved around him, he knows anybody that he employs is prepared to just to take whatever they're given because they want to be around DDG and the parties and the women and whatnot. Well, one thing these cameramen will come to terms with the moment they get given a job and then get given such a low monthly pay rate is that you can't talk. Yeah, your job is to not say a word. So you being around these people, it's not as if you can talk to them. You know, you talk to them, you're going to get fired. Okay. You're not going to really get connections, you know, because again, you can't talk. You're not going to necessarily get to sleep with the woman unless DDG or whoever is super, super cool with you. And he's like, okay, you know what? Take a break. Yeah. There's one girl down there. Go to, you know what I mean? You're not going to be that person. Your job is to solely record and shut up. And if you don't record the way they want you to record, they'll just replace you with another cameraman. Because one thing about that job, there's a line of cameramen waiting for these guys, especially the top guys. So DDG can basically pay these guys next to nothing if he really wants to, because there's going to be another person who will happily take this job regardless of this cameraman who's basically just turned around and said, I can't do this no more. And I've seen the interview. If I can find it, I'll put it in the video, where the guy was basically saying like it was just very taxing, you know, it's very taxing on the body, especially if you don't have that waist support to hold the camera up. I couldn't do that sort of job. It's nothing to do with being youthful. It's to do with you've got to have a level of fitness that the regular person doesn't have, because most regular people aren't holding cameras up for that long. These guys are running up and down, jumping in pools, jumping out of pools. They're having conversations, and you're going to have to switch back and forth to people's faces, especially when they're facing each other. Most of these cameramen ain't zooming out and having just two people speak at each other. It's somebody said something, you zoom into that face, and then that person speaks, and then you zoom into that person's face, and then you're going back and forth and back and forth after already holding the camera for 8 hours straight with no waist support, and then you're getting paid under £5,000. It's not worth it. DDG, I've heard him on a few comments brag that he's making all 400, 500k a month. You mean you can't just break off your cameraman 10? That's still good business, yeah? But at the same time, you drop him 10 and then basically say to him, you're gonna be my lapdog. I'm paying you life-changing money, 10 grand a month, but you're gonna have to sit there, and I don't care how tired you get, I don't care how much your knees are burning, yeah, you getting 10k a month. I guarantee if the cameraman was getting paid 10k a month, he would have just put up with it. Anybody's prepared to put up with a level of abuse for that type of money. Yeah, not out and out abuse, but a bit more taxing on the body. Somebody will take that on. But you can't be paying 9 to 5 money, you know, and with inflation, it's not a lot these days. You know, that a monthly rate, you know, you're giving the dude 2k a week. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? A little 8 grand a month, but roughly, if the money that you've claimed that you've been making, I understand you're a business. You're not here to just throw money left, right, and center, but you've already stated you're making crazy bread. I've heard the comments. Pay these people amicably, especially when you're getting them running after you. You know, I've seen some of the clips of streaming you. Dude was getting water or hot sauce thrown on him. People are now running after him with the camera. You've got to be not just physically fit, but mentally fit to do that job, especially if you've not got the waist crane. I don't know the official name for it, but it's ludicrous to not actually have that waist support doing this sort of job. And a lot of these cameramen that are doing these crazy hours don't have that level of equipment yet. They'll have the TVU, the 30 grand backpack, so the connection's nice, but then they don't have the support, which is not only something that'll help with the hands, but with your health. You know, holding something up for that long can't be healthy, you know? So it's one of those, he's talking about, you know, no McDonald's employee thinks it's not fair, the person who owns this. Like, what are you talking about? The person isn't working for McDonald's, working for a cameraman. He's a cameraman for a millionaire. And I'm not saying he should be getting crazy bread, but he should be getting enough for what the job entails. You know, physically taxing on the body, extremely long hours. If he messes up, he's on the verge of being sacked instantly. Pay these people amicably so it gives them an incentive to carry on doing the job. And regardless of what hurdle that they come through, that little pain in the knee or whatever, they'll just power through it because they know, hey, I'm getting a nice paycheck at the end of the month. I do not care. But for 3 to 5 G's to do that sort of job, it's not enough. It's just not. Maybe somebody's starting up and coming or whatever, and the person's invested in this streamer that's a nobody and he can only pay them somewhat. But then in that scenario, the hourly rate of filming is a lot lower. But this, Mr. DDG, that just done like a 24-hour stream with, is it Bender Don? And you're now seeing what the Kick guys are doing. So you now want to copy them doing a 24-hour thing. Pay these people amicably. And all of that extra stuff about, hey, you get to be around us and the lavish life and the Airbnb. None of that matters when you're a cameraman. You're a person who has to sit there, be silent, and most people don't even notice you there. After a while, you're just there with a camera with a big light in people's faces. When they look at the camera, they can't see the cameraman anyway because of the big light that's blazing in their eyes. They're not interested in the cameraman. They're interested in whoever you're collabing with. So it's not as good as a connection-based, networking situation being a cameraman. It's not. Maybe when he's off duty, but at the time when it's off duty, that's when the party stopped. That's when everybody's probably gone, He's not got time to sit there and make connections. They've just not to repeat myself, they don't. So it's not a great life being a cameraman as much as people think it is. Now, it can be if the person's paid the hours that they're doing and the task that they've been asked to do with the whole camera back and forth at people. So you've just been attacked. You end up running after the guy. The person's got to be physically fit to run up and not only run, make sure that the camera's in shot, not just jiggling all over the place. That streamer use stuff, I watched that looked crazy. I could have never done that as a cameraman. I've seen the interviews talking about the guy who was at Streamer U with them, and midway he quit. He said, I can't do this. Let me see if I can find that guy. Okay, so let's listen to what the cameraman says for himself. This was the guy that quit mid Streamer University event.
To headphones, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in Arkansas. In my experience being a camera operator, camera operators are like at the bottom. They treat us like at the bottom. Everything is our fault. I hear from a lot of other camera operators that I was talking to, they also cramped up. Body was giving out due to dehydration. They needed to have a couple minutes to themselves to recharge, All in all, regardless of what may occur at Streamer University, it just didn't work out between me and him. It was mutual. No hard feelings. I got a lot of love for him, and I hope it's mutual. Some advice that I would give for camera operators really is, when you think you're prepared, you can always be more prepared. If you're going to be a full-time camera operator for a talent, especially of that caliber, be prepared to treat it like the mafia. Nothing comes before the mafia. Nothing comes before the talent. Your family, your mental, physical health, your errands, what you have to do at the house, talent comes first. You'll get a phone call at 1:30 that they need you at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and you are obligated to, fulfill that. If you're going to be a full-time camera operator, I suggest you have a strong program that goes well with physical, having a strong relationship with God or whoever you believe with spiritually. This job can really take a toll on you, especially when you're in the middle of the limelight unintentionally. The haters and the trolls and the harassment can really get to your head, seriously. I'm grateful that, I have a strong connection with God. I have a good, loving family back at home, and I have friends and colleagues that really care for me, and I care for them as well. So, shout out to my family, shout out to, other fellow cam operators and other friends that I have there, supporting me and really checking in on me and giving me that source of hope, because without them, I'd probably be fucked. That's basically it. I just wanted to say some peace. I just wanted to speak out on it. I'm not here to disrespect people. I could easily go on a rant disrespecting a lot of people, talking shit, and making fun.
So basically, what he's trying to say, and it's a good message somewhat, the finances need to match the labor. Anyhow you ever find yourself doing way more work than what it's worth, quit. It doesn't matter being around this famous individual. If you're being treated in an unhealthy manner, that little piece of money that you're getting isn't worth your health. You can give yourself back damage and stuff like that. And he's talking about being cramped up, not even getting any water and whatnot. I've always been curious to know, when these guys are doing crazy hours and they need the toilet, what, did they just give the camera to somebody, or do they just sit there and have some form of thing in the pants which just fills up to piss in? I don't know how all of those things work. I've never been a cameraman. I've filmed a lot, but I've never been a cameraman holding it for somebody. But I don't know. Pay these people amicably. Did I say that right? Amicably. I don't know how to say that right. But pay these people. You bragged about being on 400, 500K. Giving them 10 is the least you can do. Anyway, like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think.